Oh. Hello, hello. Okay. What do we got this week? It's pretty, some could say degenerate race. Very tight times in the top 5. Past that, I don't know, is this tight? 5 minutes 1K? That seems pretty tight. POV making POV and J? No, I actually got up earlier today. Only 15K, which is, I don't know, super surprising to me. Like, I guess this map is, I mean, what difficulty is this map, huh? Is this advanced? It's advanced. I guess that tracks. Advanced 15K. It's not that hard though. At least if you're going for top 50. It's mainly just get micro. And you're fine. 53,933 first. Semi close top 3. 54.1. That's pretty tight. 54.5, eh. 55.4, 55.9. And then it trails off. Alright, we got 4 vids. Let's just get into it. Don't care. Don't care. Super surprised by this buck at the start. Also surprised we stop at 30 here. Also surprised by that 76 cent. Unnecessary. Okay, the game's over. GG. 50 seconds in. Here, I guess we just go for Avo percent Super Mines run. Which, I mean, let's be real here. We can fast forward this. Okay, is this loud? Seems fucking loud. Nice tack. Nice 402 Super Mines. 74 is longer than 75? Yeah, you could stop at 75. But because 75 is just blimps and like 2 leads, it's not a big deal to send it. On some races it's a big deal, like you want a hard stop 74, but this race it doesn't really matter. But 76, no idea why he sent that. Okay. So obviously the start here is Gwen. I don't think that's... I mean, there's no contesting it, right? But what we changed from top 50 strats is this 265 boat. Now I'm curious how much this guy makes. Show me the pop count. He doesn't make enough. But he saves lives. Possibly gets end of round, which then makes up for that. He sends quite a bit early. Yeah, 15. That was way more than YouTube strats. But then stops at 30, which was less than YouTube strats. So how much does he leak here for the 15? Oh, also, what does he target to? Target to there. $115. I'm so curious why not 31. I mean, to be fair, how many lives does he have at the end? 75? Obviously, there's reasons that you stop at rounds. They're not just random. But I do not know particularly why here. Buckle out around 15 start, which makes a 40 and 26 male extremely consistent. Otherwise, 26 male is RNG. Well, there you go. There's your reasonings. Purely for end of round. Wouldn't have risked the fortified Moab leaking? Yeah, there's really no reason to send 75 or 76. Definitely 76. Like, I don't think we were money capped. Like, I'm pretty sure we were getting the money regardless of if we sent 76. I don't know why I'm skipping ahead. Just go back. Okay. So buck start, there's your difference between top 50 and top 3, right? There's your small optimizations that make time saves possible. I'm super shocked that this boomer was still the play. I was somewhat sure that this was like top 50 bait, because like, I don't know, just like every time I see a Morglaze, I'm like, wow, this tower sucks. But in this instance, because there's like 5 lanes, I get a little bit better coverage, huh? So this is also a big departure from top 50. Also we sell this. I mean, this makes sense, right? Sell that for that. Good order. Don't need to sell the dart until we get the cross path. Sell the buck for the actual Rico. And then we second Gwen this third path where 36 comes out of. 36 was a real, like, I don't want to say bottleneck, but like it sucked if you sent it too early, it just fucking leaked, right? And you're down to like 5 lives. So this, we literally just get all of it into Morglaves. And obviously the classic Gwen race. I mean, you constantly have her down. There should never be a moment during a Gwen race where you do not have Gwen down on the board, right? You're either waiting for the cooldown or the game is over, right? Those are the only 2 reasons that Gwen should ever be on the board. At all times. So second Gwen there, into this. Another big thing about top 50 was people were sitting on the round 49 for like fucking ages, right? Or the round 39, excuse me. Which you could tell was unoptimal. Because this boomer, if you outbuff it, can like easily handle 45 and like technically 49 if you ignore kind of the sometimes 46. Like in this instance it doesn't really matter because we have ice blocking this and we have Gwen there for the 51 send as well. So like he sends his this is a good turnaround, right? We 39 there and we basically almost instantly 49 after, which is, I mean, again, that's optimal. Gwen. Okay, now at this point, obviously we're going into male, right? That's like a no questions tower that we get, right, in this race. It's just the fastest. It will always be the fastest if we have everything unlocked. It's just, you know, the question is how fast can we get it? So after the Gwen, after the Alk buff, boom, mail. Now he puts this really far back. But I'm fine with this. Because mail placement depends on a lot of what's happening, right? If you're putting your Gwen or your mail placement somewhere like here, what that tells me is that you want money, right? You need a fuck ton of money to afford this mail, right? Which is fine. Like some races, this would be where we put it, right? Just because we need so much money, right? We send like a little bit later because, I mean, we just physically can't send earlier because no matter what we do, we just don't have money, right? But if you have a lot of money, then obviously as further back as possible makes more sense because that's where shit is leaking, right? So it enables you to send slightly earlier. So when we have towers at the front that we can sell after, and we have our, I mean, crosspath that just makes it go on forever, that means money is less of an issue, right? So we put it as far back as possible, while still being, like, practical. Like putting it right here is probably not an insanely great move, right? But, this is, like, probably as far back as you want to practically have it. Well, you could probably push it even further. I don't know why he sends 75 and 76 here. I don't know. There's just no reason to. Unless I'm missing some, like, crucial money-making from, like, the top of 76. Like, is he really popping this? I mean, we are, but, like... That's 100% still going on for another half a second. And, like, look at how close this shit gets. Like, look at this. Like, dog. There's no reason we need to send 76 there. Or 75. I don't think we can say money was an issue. Well, that's another tiny thing here to notice. Doesn't crosspath this Alk. Does not crosspath it. Fairly certain it just delays mail, right? If we get 320, obviously we're putting more into it and we're selling it for less, right? So it's gonna take longer to get this mail. So if getting the crosspath isn't necessary, then obviously there's no reason for him to get it. This is being top 50 and top 3 is second Gwen spot. Right. How do you make a 222 vid on a 153? Because he puts in like the proof of rewards. This is for the people in the comments that they see hackers and they're like, well, actually, you only got 6th. You gotta cater towards those people. Did he see hackers on the board? Yep. There would have been, oh, you only got 7th. How? He shows it at the end and at the start. How are you first, but you're 7th? He even showed the last time. Okay. I don't afford Smail without 76? That just seems like... I don't know. I feel like... Okay, first of all, why don't we just sell Gwen? Gwen is doing nothing here. Like the 2 shots we get on the ceramics? Is worth keeping Gwen there? Versus just selling her? Crosspathing Elk is dumb? On some instances, you definitely shouldn't crosspath. I got a little bit hyper, like, crosspath eccentric a couple months ago. There are definitely times where you shouldn't cross path. I think a general rule of thumb is that you should default to cross pathing. For like anything top 50, like it's just more consistent. But if you're like trying to really penny pinch and optimize, then obviously the direction to go is to not cross path some stuff. That'd be my take on it. This brace looks perfect for you. Why didn't you try hard? I just really, I'll be honest. 50% of it is like just motivation. Like I just have a lot of other stuff going on. And 50% is also, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I probably try and get like third because I'm just washed. I'm like, eh. I'd rather just not. I'd rather not show how washed I am. I died to Moab sometimes. One also only sells for 400. That's a lot of money. 400 is a lot of money when you're trying to afford Smail. He died to the Moab. This guy right here. Wait, is this? What Moab is this? I don't think that's a, yeah, that's like a 40, or that's like a 50, right? A 40 something. I don't know, I feel like we're coping on the 76 a bit, but... You don't wins to win here after Smail? Yeah, we definitely haven't stabilized. We've stabilized here. This is where the stabilize begins. I mean, technically you could argue that this wizard is also needed, but like... We get Solver and the game's over. This is why it was so weird. It was so weird seeing people go Spirit with the wrong cross path. This is what people did for top 50, right? Which is like fine. Like this is what I did too. Because I'm stupid. Right? They got Spirit here. Which, number one, you could get Spirit here and be fine for like a long time. Like, look at how long it takes for this shit to end. Look at how long he has Solver here for, right? So that's not an issue, okay? So you don't need Spirit here. Put it here if you're gonna get it, right? But even if you are putting it here, please get this cross path. Don't ever... I don't know what happened. I don't know if I recommended it or some shit, or like... Like, we don't need top cross path. Get this cross path, please. We have Alk, we have everything in the game that pops lead, alright? All you have to do after you get Spirit is this. That's all you do. Or get anything in the game that pops lead for like $200, right? Yeah. Like, just get this cross path. Lead is not hard to get, and we're more consistent, because it's just bigger radius, right? And, like, the main attack gets bigger range. To snipe, like, ZOMGs, or CMGs, to snipe Moabs, if that's, like, your issue, right? So if we're going Spirit, A, we didn't need it here, okay? We also didn't need it, like, look at this difference, right? Look at this range difference. This is where we were getting it, this is where we could be getting it, and also... Alk buff your spirits. Boom. Look at how much range that is. And put a village there. Okay? Let's do proper spirit tech, alright? Come on, guys. You guys are better than that. But it wasn't needed in this race, because we have... Solver. And also, okay... This is one of the benefits of the Smail buff. You ready for this? So previously, we basically had to Smail chain always. Okay, we got our Smail like this, and then we instantly... Oh. Why is this not having audio? Huh? Why does my Smail not have audio? Hello? I just don't have Smail audio. Okay, good to know. So, previously, this is what happened, right? You use Smail, and you'd have to chain immediately. And, like, get this shit, and get a bunch of other garbage, right? And then we put down our solver. So very subtle difference, okay? We sometimes don't have to do this anymore because of those extra +3 seconds on bottom path, right? What this enables us to do is like make enough money to just afford it straight up. Like there's no chaining anymore. You just buy it. It's just buy, right? And you have money, which is what he does. You just afford it straight up. With 870 left, no village or Gwen cell, but like previously, I think we might have been able to afford it, but you probably still smell chained just to be like safe, right? But like now it's, I mean, look at, we just afford it, right? It's just so much easier. So that's another benefit of the bottom crosspath. Crosspath Alcon Moor is never worth 1 additional second of duration. Again, yeah, it depends on the tower as well, right? As a blanket statement, I like having crosspath, because if you do like a reactor or a overdrive or a destroyer for whatever reason why we're doing that, then that comes a lot more in handy than +1 second on a tower that shoots as slow as Moor. Second ice I dropped was placed kind of badly. It didn't do that. It didn't need to be that close. Oh yeah, I also like the ice. People should ice more. I even did this in my top 50. It's nerfed, obviously. Let's see the uptime. Yeah, man, that's a heavy nerf. Like, it's still worth it to ice, but it used to be so much better. Before they, what was it, a 50% duration cut? I didn't hate that second ice. Although you could have possibly waited half a second for the unfreeze. Like iced villaged and then iced instead of ice village. Ice baby. I never died to 76. Right. How much do we leak? Are we leaking from the top or the bottom? We just leak camos. I think the reason people didn't do solver is because everyone's used to smell chaining, right? They're used to not affording solver on the first mail, so they're just like, fuck it, chain it and then get it. Or get whatever we want, right? Or they're hyper fixated on getting spirit. Which, listen, spirit is good tower, but like, there's a lot of instances where getting solver 10k earlier than spirit lets you get more money in the long run anyway. Because you're killing more stuff quicker, you got it down quicker, and you can just get like a town, right? Earlier, or you start farming earlier, right? It was like that one race was bad v3. People were like baited into getting spirit because they're like, oh, spirit, it's so good, it has money. It's like, yeah, but solver is, and this was pre-nerf solver as well, or pre-buff solver, and it was still better than spirit. Solver just lets you get money like way faster and actually kills shit, right? And it's way cheaper. So I don't think people are getting necessarily baited by spirit, but like solver can do sometimes better in terms of just like getting money quicker. Obviously, it doesn't matter this race. Like you could do anything, because the game is over at 50 seconds. But YouTube strats were getting afraid of getting sold by the erosion. Yeah, but if you played the race, you would know that like it doesn't do that. Like, look at how long it takes for this to be sold. Look at it. It's still there. 1 minute. We're still there. It's like they're afraid of just moving it, like, over 1. Like, you could have gotten Spirit, and even if you stuck with Spirit the whole game, you could have just, like, moved him, like, here, which, like, wouldn't be necessary. And also, it's kind of bad, because then you lose your vines, right? But, like, also, by that time, we have, like, tens of thousands of dollars if you just farm, right? I guess that's what people were afraid of. Like, they put their spirit here, and then when they transfer it, it has to, like, restart the regrowth of the vines. And they couldn't figure out any way with having, like, $50,000 of having to clean up, like, the 2 BFBs that are up top. I don't know, dog. I don't know. And, like, it's not even better for, like, a YouTube top 50. Because you have to deal with it being, like... You could see the top 50s of people getting, like, an 024 sniper and almost dying. Because there was shit down here, right? You're not telling me that's easier than just, like, putting it here, getting, like, 5 farms, and then having infinite money to, like, either transfer it up here later, or just get, like, other things, right, to defend. You get, like, a Roth, like, 5 Roths, you could get, like, a Inferno ring if you want. Like, you could do so many things and be fine, right? I sold mail before it even expired. Oh yeah, I figured that it didn't seem like it was that long. Or rather, it didn't seem like it went its full duration. So like you're easily always getting solver money with this extended duration. I don't think we're ever smail chaining, unless we literally have no other tower to get, or we have to go to Spirit. If you have to go to Spirit, I think you still smail chain 100%. Hold on, would you have actually died, though? I guess we're just worried about this fortified. Like, Smail would, like, tickle it, and then it would run out as it was at the very end, and Solver wouldn't catch it. I guess that makes sense, that's fine. Splatter is fine, I don't hate Splatter. Even though we didn't really need it, it's like... It's an optimization you make if the race is, like, really tight cleanup. Whereas here, obviously, that's not the case. Smail has no audio because not popping shit? Hold on. Am I insane? It has a noise. It goes... And it's not here. I'm getting gaslit into thinking Smail doesn't have a noise. Yeah, no, you're crazy. I'm actually so confused. It doesn't exist. Spirit isn't even free, you get it and you die to fortify mobs. Yeah, like, if you don't put it in a good spot, Spirit, like, still has to grow the vines. It's not an instant win. I know I say, like, you stabilize when you get Spirit, but if you put Spirit in a good spot, that's true. But if you don't put it in a good spot, then that's not true. But if you're smart with your placement, then it's basically a stabilize. Wait for Smell to time out that I had a chance of dying? Yeah, I mean, that's fair. To that fortified, I'd probably assume. Yeah, Smail 100% has a noise. I don't know why it doesn't have one. Does everything else have a noise? Yep. What's another ability? Okay, it's just Smail that doesn't have a noise. Cool bug. Where was I? Oh, you talk about the alking on this mail. Look at this shit. 1, 2, 3. I like this. Always do this from now on. Now that we have bottom path Smail, the timings match up so that we can buff it before. It's not attacking anything, right? So it's still gonna have the seconds timer be the bottleneck. Here, now it's doing its shots, but like we're running out before it's expiring, right? So we didn't waste anything. We didn't waste time because it's expiring on its shots anyway. Outbuff it again because the reapplication is up because we did it so long ago, right? Boom, up again. You see that? Still gets the benefit. Still gets the benefit. Still benefiting from it. So we basically got 2 free 3 2-0s out of that. And then even after it, yes, it does affect Smail. And, like, it's marginal, but it's cheaper than basically anything else we can get. Like, we don't have Roth yet. We don't have anything else yet. So we get a tiny bit of attack speed and +1 damage. I think that's worth it over trying to get, like, a Roth or some shit. I mean, like, you could get something after as well, right? Like, if we're in a tougher situation, tighter scenario, obviously alk it and then get, like, I don't know, a sniper, a Roth, right? An ice spam, something. But I like the triple out there. Yeah, we don't need... I like the drums as well. Dude, people were getting Camo Village, right? Which is... I like that. That's fair. Because what else are you getting, right? But if you're getting a Camo Village, you might as well just get the... attack speed. Just get the drums, right? It's right there. You've already invested so much in the entire village and getting a crosspath on the village. Unless you're specifically going for town, which we could get later anyways, right? Then why not just get drums, right? It helps. It affects the tower. It kills stuff quicker, right? You don't need whatever this upgrade is. You don't need training. I think it makes the projectiles go slightly faster, I think. Is that necessary on Smail? I don't think so. Unless someone has something to contradict that. But I'm fine with it on Solver because we need range. And then we just farm. Smail only 2 damage, Brew is still a huge buff. I mean, it doesn't last that long, but yeah, it's nice when it's still up. I'm pretty sure 3-2 Village gives ability uptime increase. That is only on 4-2-0. P-Training gives +1 Pierce, faster projectile speed, bigger range, and possibly one more thing. It's really only useful on glues and ice? Not even ice, really. You mainly just get it for anything glue, like Moab glue, Solver, that's about it. And overdrives. For, like, the base game, not just talking about races. Is that really the entire race? I feel like I've covered everything. Because after this, it's just you buy Solver and the game is over. I'll buff Solver, that's fine. I mean, I would have cross-pathed it, but... Actually, no, you don't need to cross-path it on Solver, right? I think it's full uptime regardless. Don't quote me on that. In fact, I might be completely wrong about that. And then we just farm here for the memes. You could have literally just kept Solver here and, like, put 1 overdrive down and the game's over. Like, 2 snipers, but... I like how we're still optimizing. Like, we're putting this in range of the Solver, even though we have... I mean, I guess it makes sense. You should have just made that one your Trempire, though. Huge shout out to Tarn for giving mobile players 0 chances to compete this race. Hey, that's based, alright? My man Tarn. Mobile players are second-class citizens, if I'm concerned, okay? No offense to, who, like Par? I don't know who races with mobile in the community. It's like one person, right? I can think of Par, and that's it. Unless you go, like, way back to, like, Crimey and like, and, I don't even know. There's, like, the 3 mobile players I know. Okay. I don't know, people are gonna say that they hate this race, but like, I don't know, this is like my type of race. I love this shit. I'd give it like an 8, but it's probably not an 8. 20 for max Trent buff? I just tested Smale doesn't have sound for me either, but Male does? Did they release an update? That like a sub update that broke it? 38.3, that was when the race was on, right? Surely. Does just nobody's Male have sound? Did it not have sound during the race and I just didn't notice? Why did I... Does this race have audio? No, of course it doesn't have audio. Do you have audio? No. Do you have audio? Yes! Give me a Smale. Wait, so I don't think Smale has audio. It doesn't. Okay, Smale just doesn't have audio and I didn't notice. No. It 1000% has audio. I'm just saying in this version of the game, for whatever reason, it doesn't. It's 1,000,000% has audio. Okay. You know, the 040 has audio, but then the 050 also has audio. Like, it still makes the, like, whooshing sound. I don't know how to describe it, right? But for some reason in this update, or in 0.3 specifically, the Male has sound, but the Smale doesn't. So, I have no idea what that's about. Okay. I feel like we just listened to this song. Whatever. Is there any other optimizations I can talk about? Boat, dart placement maybe, it's whatever, get leaks. Not cross-pathing that, double ice. Oh, why, okay, so why Gwen on this path? I guess you could ask that question. Because 51 is on this path, I think. Yeah, that's a 51 ceramic. And also there's a Moab, so like it kind of just works out that both of these are on the same path, and that's where we need it. If the Moab was on a different path, I don't think it would have mattered, because Smale is destroying it on this path or the top one anyways. And we alk buff this, right? Surely. Yeah, alk buff that. Always alk buff your Gwen when you can. We didn't alk second Gwen. Just because I don't think it really allowed us to do that. Like, technically you could have gotten alk here instead of this Rico. I don't know. I mean, we don't need it for the 39, right? It would only be useful for the instant 49. And it would have killed, like, stuff quicker. I don't think you could have really gotten it, though. Because it's, like, so expensive. We hardly get this Rico before we put it off. Yeah, whatever, maybe. Yep, I like this. This makes sense. Why is this Supermine's 402? That doesn't make sense to me. Just get 520. Right? Okay, it doesn't matter. 153.93, there you go, folks. Oh. Why did no one do D-breath? What, you mean... Where? Here? I don't know where you would put D-Breath in this. You remove the 51 bottleneck with Gwen, and then 54, 55 with ices, and then it's 673 limiting. You could still go 3 seconds faster with CE Ice Micro. You can check old smell races. You can't know? What do you mean you can't know? For the mail path. Looks good, like Alk D-Breath there. Oh, just for camos because we have Gwen covered on bottom? Instead of Camo Village? I mean... Okay, why are we repeating songs constantly? Okay, the YouTube playlist change button is broken. It just cycles between 4 different songs, even on shuffle, and then it just loops back. This happens every time I play a YouTube playlist. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like we just get Village, no? Alright, that was first. Not like a whole lot to say. But that's just the nature of the race. You gotta like really nitpick about tiny optimizations in this one. Second, which was a somewhat tight, close 0.2 difference. No boat. Half rounds, just a 7. And 30. Mostly similar stuff. Slightly different male position, slightly different Gwen position. Okay. Upgrade pause abusing. Surely they fix this NES update. And we've stabilized here. Okay, the game's over. Classic. I see. Okay. Difference number 1, round 7. Huge difference. Literally halving the rounds from 15. Same 30 though. Gwen is slightly lower, I think, here. Now, technically, if you're placing Gwen let's say you want Gwen here, right? I want Gwen at this exit. You have two options. You can either place Gwen so that she's like here, super far up so she hits balloons earlier, and then target manually here, or you just place her here. The advantage of this is that there's 0 travel time, right? Like with this, versus this, there is an actual, like, projectile that's being thrown out and being traveled, right? I always just like putting it as close as possible, just because, like, you minimize that time that it's not down, right? In this instance, in this race, how important was it? I mean, it's kind of tight. I always just like putting it as close as possible, but you do get value out of putting it away and then targeting, because you possibly snipe end of rounds or just get more damage earlier, right? So we kind of do the same thing here as first. 35, wait for that. Top right, 39. More glaives, back Gwen. Early 49. Slightly different mail, and then we full send. This mail positioning, hold on. Which way are we going against the grain here? We're going that way. I feel like bottom is better, no? For this grain? Going against it? And for up top? I feel like that's just a better angle. Unless that hurts... Oh, that wouldn't hurt bottom. I'm curious why Infinity put it above. We hit the top track slightly earlier. For 76. I mean, he might have just done it because of 76. Blow is worse for top path because it's further? Okay. So it was for 76. Which, I don't think you had to send, but according to you, you really desperately needed money, so... I guess. So we go Roth here, still one Smail, no chaining. Oh! Not tight at all. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's slightly slower first. Not much else to say, really. Surely they fix the upgrade pausing bug next update, right? Surely. Third was 0.3 away from second. Not terrible, but... Here we also do buck, but slightly different position. Okay. Seen a lot of similarities. Okay, this is different. Very interesting second mail spot. Like, incredibly interesting second mail spot. What's the plan after this? A third mail. Okay, so we're just omega mail chaining. There's a lot of stuff going on here. We keep mail chaining. Very interesting. Who needs solver or spirit when we have infinite smails? Okay. It's interesting, at least. It's different. That's what I like to see. There's an 11 start with boat up high. Front Gwen instead of back Gwen. Very high up boomer position. And this is the no Gwen right. Cross pathed. Top smail. Why is this Gwen so far up? I feel like this should have been targeted slightly further down. Okay. Let's back up. There's not much to say here. And this is a play you can make. Like, you could smail chain. I would have put this slightly further down. What, does everyone use 204 heli? I mean, that's just... You don't want to use 104. You don't want to micro it. I did no second Gwen down to 154.7. But fell slower and very RG to not die on path 3. I mean, you could have just, like, targeted, right? Like, one close shot? On 36? That's what I did, I just closed it for one. And it worked out fine. Yeah, I mean, there's really not a lot to say here, other than there's a fuck ton of smail chaining going on. Which, I mean, it's cool that you can do this, but I would have just done a better stabilization. Jesus. Bleep that out. I would have done a way better stabilization here. That isn't this. But it works. There's no reason you can't do this. Oh, and also, this isn't even PB. This is a 155.38. What is this? No, it still would have been fourth. Or fifth. Oh no, it would have been fourth. Okay. Fifth place. Oh no, 56 point... Guys, what is this with not recording PBs? This isn't even worth watching. This is 7th. I'm skimming through this one. Did we drag? We dragged. Oh, don't do this. No hotkey guy. That's not the point. Why do people use Comanche? Well, listen. I don't know. You and Infinity both hate this Comanche tower, okay? I'm not saying it's under or overrated. I'm just saying it's a properly usable tower that in some scenarios is just good to have, right? You basically instantly get 3 helis up, and your ass is saved from dying. I think that has merit and value. Front Gwen. Interesting second Gwen spot. Wait, we just fucking DPS that Moab down. Like, we didn't even smell any of that Moab. That was pure Gwen. Okay, hold on. What happened here? Wait, we got Gwen before... Morglaves. Okay. D-breath guy, no drums guy. Back of the map. Second male guy. Did we... No, we used it immediately. Roth spam guy. Jesus Christ. What is... Okay, what happened this race to where people were like, I'm gonna mail chain. This is the race where we mail chain, okay? With every tower enabled in the game, this is when we mail chain. Don't get any other tower. Well, that guy's not hitting camo. Doesn't matter. Okay. We're dragging towers. Still haven't figured out hotkeys. That's fine. Almost dead to this bottom path. Almost not cleaning here. A little tight. Alright. Not sure what I'm gonna say about this one. I mean, I really have nothing to say. You can kind of tell where stuff is slower than first and second. I don't know what the smell chaining meta is in this race. Don't know why that was a thing. I guess people just thought like Solver wasn't gonna cut it, or that Spirit was also not going to cut it for, like, lower times? Like, they thought it was bait or something? I bet people tried Spirit for, like, faster times, and they're like, damn, this shit sucks. It's dying. Because they put it, like, here. So then they're like, alright, well, Solver's just not gonna work. So they're like, alright, guess I'm Smail Chaining. Guess that's my life now. Okay. Yeah, there's not much to talk about that one. And that's top 5. Overall, I'd rate this race a solid... It doesn't deserve an 8 out of 10. It's probably closer to a 6. The map itself is not bad for racing either. The mechanic doesn't... it's not obnoxious, right, in races. I used to say, like, any map with a mechanic should probably never be used in races, like Geared and, Covered Garden. Because they just don't mesh well. But in this instance, I don't think the mechanic, like, actively hinders your experience. And it, like, provides, like, a decent challenge, right? Like, they're close enough to where Gwen Cocktail worked, or, like, you could probably even do... Like, right, we used More. More was fine. Mail was fine. Right, you could still get towers, but you just had to be, like, aware of, like, okay, this is dying, this is dying, this is dying at some point. Because it's based off of the last round that's sent that kills it, right? Versus something like Geared, where it's just constantly spinning, or Covered Garden, where it's just constantly, constantly moving. What other map has, like, a gimmick, right? 1-2 Tree is another one of the maps that has gimmicks that's not as bad as in races. Just because A, it's super fucking long, and B, it's like the gimmicks, like, help you versus hurting you, like Geared. But sometimes it might be a little bit RNG, like if you don't hit a certain end of round, you don't get a plot of land, and then that plot of land that you unlocked is, like, super goated, like the, +1 damage magic. What else? Sanctuary race. That works the same as Geared, right? The same principle? Or, like, obviously it's the same principle, but does it have the same mechanics? Where, end of round, it'll always immediately go. I would assume yes. So that'd be an awful map. What other maps have gimmicks? Workshop kind of works in Race's favor. Because unlike a regular game, where you only get to use it on one round, and that lasts for that one round, you can basically spam it the entire race and it'll be active. But it's still somewhat strategic, unlike when you use it, like, after the first time it's free. So that's not too bad. So I shouldn't just say, like, a blanket statement that gimmicks are bad, because most gimmick maps are actually not that bad for races. Midnight Mansion. We had a race and it was fine? I don't remember if it was, like, super annoying. Who else is a gimmick? Fuck, how do you say this word? Polyphemus? This one? Also, did we have a race on this one? I feel like we did, no? Unless I'm crazy. I have no idea if we've had a race on this map yet. And I don't know if it would actually be obnoxious or not. I mean, what would you put here, like a reactor? You could also just, like, put Rofs and shit, and, like, just get a Smail, so... I doubt it's that bad. Right. That's about it, huh? Yeah, that's all of them. I guess Dark Dungeons also has gimmicks, but it's just a bad map in general for races, so... Lunaria's Prime? I raced on a Blunarius Prime map in CT. And I realized I don't understand how it works. And I'm not talking about the Prime rounds. I'm talking about in races specifically. Sometimes I would send 17, and 17 comes out here. Other times I sent 17, and 17 comes out here. Why is that? Because I'm super confused on that one. Like, different rounds, depending on when you ended the round, they would come out at different times. Like, this would not open at the same time, depending on when I ended the round here. I don't know if I'm just crazy, or if there's actually some weird mechanic in races that affects that. Because it did not feel consistent to me on when stuff came out. Like, sometimes I would have it here, and it would be 10 times better than... I mean, we raced on it before, right? I literally have recordings of this. Live. Was it this race? The 8-hour-long one? Instead of spawning rounds on the correct path every time, it sends all balloons to the path of the earliest round that isn't ended. Hold on, let me try to understand this. Instead of spawning rounds on the correct path, right, it sends all the balloons to the path of the earliest round that isn't ended. So let's see if we can see this. Wait, is it literally 17 is just split up? Yeah, you can see it. You can see it right here. Look at it. So 17 starts to come out. Right? 17, we have the regrow yellows here, right? And then some round is ended. And then it just switched to the right lane. What's this about, huh? Yeah, no, we've had a smell race. I don't recall how that race... Well, obviously I remember how that race went. But I don't think people were really paying attention about that back then. It was just the fact that it was on the race in general. That it was like, we tried to defend two paths, right? That was what people were focusing on. Sends all balloons to the path of the earliest round that isn't ended. I'm trying to think like what that means in context of this. So like stuff is being ended here, right? 17 is coming out here. So what rounds should be coming out on the right side? Right? There should be a lot more coming out on the right, obviously. Is it Prime that goes on the right, or is it Prime that comes out on the left? I'll be honest, I haven't played this map in a long time in the actual game. There's no reason to. Seven, 11, 13, 17. I know those are Prime, but should those technically be right? I think so, right? Because Prime is on the right. What round does it start on? What, the old race? If you send round 1 to 30, all the balloons will go on the path of round 1 until it's ended. But they don't end in order. Right, obviously. So because we sent out round 1, right, all the shit's gonna go to the left until round 1 is ended. And then it goes to round 2, which technically would be right side, right? But then if 2 is ended, then it goes to 3, which is right, and then 4, which is left. That's kind of a shit mechanic for a map like this, at least in races. So, in theory, you don't want to end round 1. You want to keep round 1 out. You want to end every other round left for as long as possible. Send out as many rounds as possible so that all of them are on the left side. And then the money you get from the left side, eventually when round 1 ends, then you set up shop on right side. So that means you could also force where certain rounds are going, right? Like the Moab. You can convert the Moab on a specific side. I think. Depending on when you end rounds and when you send rounds. That's a fucking awful, that's an awful way of doing it. I don't know if you could do it better, though. No, surely you could. You just have them go on the correct path, right? Is it that hard to do? Like, that's all you have to do. It was bugged in that race. After round 7, end of round, everything went right. What, on the old race that we had? Where the fuck is this video at? Go to my subscriptions. Okay. Classic Rise color filter? Wait, was that really the best tack spot? Surely the one above was better, no? This misses 2 whole blades. Okay, interesting. Nope. Why are you separate? Okay. I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know if this is actually what's supposed to be happening. Like, I can't tell what rounds are supposed to be on each side, so this is pointless, but... So every Moab is currently on the left. Wait, so... It's working as intended on this, right? Because it's splitting up equally. Oh. Fuck. Did I just leak some shit? Nope. What's happening here? I can't figure out where anything is. Where is the video? Okay. Wait, analyzing another race? No, I'm just trying to figure out how this map works. When I look at a race that's a year ago, just to like see what's happening on, like see how the fucking, I don't know, how the rounds interact with the sends. So obviously it fixes itself here, because they're going on two different paths, like simultaneously. So when does it stop being bugged, is the question that I have. Dude, I wish we had this race today, man. Yeah, I don't know how this... I have to look into this more. It just seems fucking broken. Okay. Well, I don't think there's anything else to do, right? There's no CT. Nope. That might be it for this week. Yeah, I think that's it. Every other week is going to be super boring. Because next week there'll be CT. So you can watch me fail at CT races, but it's jack shit this race, or this week, so. Alright, that's it, folks. Let's see if you have any last questions, comments, or concerns. I'm out of here. Alright. I'm out. Adios, amigos.